So this is going to be a little bit more of a podcast type deal. So let's talk about My Hero Academia episodes 7 and 8. Only reason why I'm changing the pace a little bit is because I kind of want your opinion on what you think about this big twist that's happening with the villains. And let me know if you like it, if you do like it, if you find it enjoyable, or if you hoped for a little bit more. Either way, let's go talk about it. Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to Kick Up Flex. I hope you're having a really good day today. Now, check this out. I think My Hero Academia should be called My Villain Academia, only for the simple fact is the villains are bringing the school of ass kicking to the heroes, and they are not doing very well. They're at a breaking point, if you realize. Either they're going to hold it together or they're just going to completely fall apart because they've lost control. They're not really working together, and I think that is a huge problem. Primarily because the only thing that they teach at EU and other hero schools is working together as a team. You have your main hero and sub heroes, and that's what you got. However, the only problem is that they're just not working together, but the villains are working together very well and on the fly if you really think about it. Prime example, let's look at Shigaraki versus Endeavor. Endeavor has not asked for help yet. And on top of that, Endeavor is having a hard time even beating Shigaraki. Shigaraki is literally standing on him at one point in time, not even really thinking about Endeavor as a real potential threat. That goes to show you something. You would think you would ask for a lot more help other than what they're doing right now. However, that's not the case. And I understand a lot of the heroes are still fighting like the sub, high powered no moves, but at the same time, they're not showing that fight, which understandable. You have to fit in the main fight as much as you possibly can. But did it really take all the heroes that you have there to literally fight the no moves that popped up? I mean, if you really do think about it, that's insane. If that's how many no moves are around, or if it takes that many heroes, that means your heroes are seriously underpowered. Either way, you have Deku, Bakugo, and Torino. They're all fighting Shigaraki. Torino's playing like that middleman. He pops in every once in a while, but he's not in that mix. Now I understand he's old and really hasn't fought as a hero like that in a really long time, potentially. And at the same time, Endeavor is not fighting with Bakugo and Deku as a unit, though that they train together, which also doesn't make sense. You would think that they would have a better, like unison in fighting, better combinations, be able to do something with him being a leader or has been a leader for a very long time, but apparently not. Endeavor really is just caring about surviving for the most part. And Bakugo and Deku are worrying about vengeance. And then Torino's like trying to worry about everybody in the party, especially Eraser, because that's the one person that is literally, I believe, is fighting the hardest because guess what? He blinks, his power ends. It's not like he can just immediately restart his power and at the present time. And he's doing a fantastic job, by the way. I think the hardest fighter in this whole entire fight is Eraser. If you think I'm wrong, put it down in the comments and let me know why. And I'll probably end up believing you anyways. But either way, at the present time, Eraser for me, he's doing a fantastic job. At the same time, he's a very vulnerable person because he's injured at the present time. Now, dealing with Shigaraki, I think the best combo that they had was when Deku hit Shigaraki up in the air, and then Bakugo got behind him and then released his cannon. However, with releasing the cannon, if that wasn't enough information to let you know that you need more heroes there, or you need to combine your might in one to literally bring this man down, I don't know what more information you need. But either way, the fight really just ends up stopping at some point in time. And they decide to have this wonderful conversation. And the only person who got it right was Eraser, who says, nah, just finish him. Just he's at death's door at the present time. Just he's going to go beyond his limit. And he does. Not only does he go beyond his limit, he gets quicker, he gets stronger. You have the Dragon Lady there. You have Bakugo. I don't know where he's at the present time, but he's not in the picture. And then you have Deku, who finally caught up, whipped him up so he can't really move, trying to choke him out. And then they realize he has, one of the those bullets that erases your power, and then Deku finally decides to release 100%, but ends up getting stopped with, Shigaraki's teeth. Well, like, what? That's so insane. Literally, your 100% got stopped by his mouth. How are you going to beat him at full power? But either way, Eraser, loses his power, and at the same time, I don't know what Endeavor was trying to do, but he wasn't moving fast enough. So I don't even know how this fight's going to end up in, episode 9. And to be honest, what do you think is going to end up happening? Because I feel that somebody's about to get whooped like really hard, and it's going to be a little bit sad. I mean, no, at the present time, we know that Eraser is no longer a threat. And that's all I can really say about this fight. If they would have worked together a little bit more and stopped worrying about who's doing what. You're a hero, so you're there to sacrifice yourself. You're there to know that you might not make it home the next day if you are fighting a full-fledged on battle. That's understandable. And I think that's where All Might understood the most, because he put his body on the line every single time he fought. However, with all the other heroes, they're not doing that in a way that they're doing it as a team. Now, switching gears and going over to Gigantomachia. Oh, let me tell you something. This monster is literally insane, crazy strong. However, he hasn't taken a lot of damage so far yet. And he does prove to have a huge weakness, which is softening the ground, which is great to know. However, the problem that I have with this fight is this. The heroes are not holding it well together. And, well, the villains, they're kind of in a way taking their time, knowing that if they try to get off this big gigantic moving body, that they would probably end up dying. They know that they would end up potentially losing that fight because there are so many heroes doing really good things, and they do have the advantage at the present time. Now, I do like the whole entire setup that they did in this whole entire fight with, creating this, liquid that he only needs one vial. However, the problem that I had was this. When he got close enough, why did you all throw it at the same time? I mean, I understand you're students, but you must have more brains than that. I mean, he literally just coughed and blew everything away. And though you know nothing about this villain at the present time, you would not throw all your eggs in one basket and hope that it lands somewhere. That don't make sense. But either way, there was 2 left. And that is where my frown went from like to really in a heartbeat. So you have Mina, who comes in a slime boss way through the fire, surrounded by, this wonderful, I don't know exactly what it was, but whatever it is, it's an acid that it is durable to fire to where she won't be hurt. She ends up leaving that cocoon for what reason I have no idea, unless it would technically destroy the vial, which would then be understandable, but technically no, not really, because it was still on her person while it was around her. But either way, we're going to let that go. For some reason, this hero who has been training to be a hero for a very long time ends up hearing this monster's voice, which also kind of shocked me because I'm pretty sure he spoke prior to getting there and they could hear him. Either way, ends up getting a flashback to some point that we don't know. Maybe you probably do in the manga, but I haven't read the manga. And freezes, literally lets go of the vial, and I'm sitting there going, you are not a hero. You are the reason why Stain exists. You are the reason why Stain will literally slaughter you in like where you sleep and where you stand for that reason. Because you had a flashback, you froze in terror of something that happened to you as a little girl. Now, do we know what that is? No, we don't. Probably will they go back at some point in time and show that? Yes, they will. But at the same time, it's like you are literally in the middle of a fight. Technically, you would have died if it wasn't for Red Riot. Red Riot came out of the woodworks with nothing. I have no idea how he flew, but I wish they would have showed how or who threw him, because whoever that is super strong, and I am so happy that he did what he did. In fact, that is what a hero is supposed to do. That is who I believe Stain would not even bother trying to kill, because he is willing to fight even at death's door. He is willing to save whoever he needs to save. Now, I understand Mina had a moment of weakness, but that is not the point. It's like you are in there to win it right then and there. And I just was like, it just didn't make it for me. But Red Riot, he covered that up real quick, made me happy, and I was so excited. And even when the first vial got destroyed and he ended up having the second one and threw that into, which I'm trying to figure out how that even survived to begin with. But whatever. He is doing a fantastic job being a hero. And I wonder how long it's going to take to, to put, the giant down to sleep. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next episode. Now, I also can't, take out Mountain Lady. She's doing a fantastic job holding on to this man. I'll be honest with you. She is being pushed, thrown. She hasn't been punched yet, but pushed and thrown for the most part. And I think she's kind of knocked out, I believe, at the present time, but she's doing really good, trying to fight this beast as much as she possibly can. Now, one thing that I kind of felt sorry for was, for the simple fact is that they did not use Minar's ability a lot more. Only for the simple fact is, if he would have kept throwing those purple balls like crazy off of his head, and grape him up, it wouldn't have necessarily stopped the giant, but it definitely would have been annoying enough, because his stuff is pretty sticky, and it held really well up until he was able to rip it off. And last but not least, the one hero that I was thinking I would see more of would be Midnight. Unfortunately, she caught the short end of the stick by getting hit with, a part of a wall, which is unfortunate. But I thought I would end up seeing a lot more of her. I hope she survives, because I would like to see her use her power and see how she fights a lot more. It would be more like entertaining to see her, because she is like one of those ones that you always did want to see fight. Personally, for me, let me know in the comments if you believe that as well. But other than that, what do you think about the rest of the heroes? How do you think they're doing? I think the heroes themselves are slacking a little bit behind. I think the students are doing fantastic at the present time, primarily because of their inexperience, but even in the situation that they're in right now, they are doing well. The heroes, I think they got a little bit too comfortable, and this is the first time that they're going to be uncomfortable and roughed up to actually fight a fight that they don't know if they can win or not. So let me know what you think about that. And if you stuck in there for that long, thank you so very much. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and don't forget to click the bell notification for every time I post. You won't miss anything. And above all else, don't forget to kick up and not down. And I'll see you the next time I post. Peace.